You're listening to The Novel Game here at avonside.studio.
Well, we hope you're enjoying this week's show. If you are, or even if you're not, here are a few bits from next week's programme. First of all, there's a bit of this.
I don't like it because it's dull.
Now, a bit of that.
Go, go, Cousin Brucey. Go, go, Cousin Brucey. With WABC. Go, go!
And finally, not a bit of the other, as we're hoping to appeal to the very young and the very old as well as the very middle, here's just another bit.
3 funny people write the first line of a book, advert or film poster and compete against the real author. Will they fool their fellows or fall flat on their face? We're playing The Novel Game.
Oh my goodness. Neck and neck and neck.
Can I say I deliberately wrote badly?
Yes, you can say it.
It's a lie, but I'm going to stick to it.
Okay. Round 7 is the poster for the film Saturday Night Fever. Number 1, you can't dance off this fever. Number 2, because the night belongs to disco. Number 3, catch it. Or number 4, in a world of cool, one man is ice. And Fenella, plump now.
Well, it can't be catch it because it sounds like catch it.
That's
It can't be that. As usual, it's the one that plods because the night belongs to disco.
Okay. Robin.
I think it's catch it. I do. I think
really
there's something
do.
so. Yeah.
You thought about it?
Yeah.
Okay. And Marian.
I like catch it. Yeah.
Catch it.
Well, I always have a little baggie with me. It's fine.
To hear more episodes of The Novel Game, like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe at avonside.studio.
Something to look forward to next week. Meanwhile, there's just a little bit more left of this week's show, and here it is.
What do you want?
What now?
It's you.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Do you want an intro?
Yeah, please. Oh, give us an intro.
No, I'd love to give you an introduction. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Marian Pashley and another thing.
Recently, I've started following on Twitter We Want Plates, which is the protest Twitter movement against the ceaseless thwarting of a decent dining experience by indulging the ludicrous compulsion to serve the comestibles on, a roof tile or a bin lid. And they post photos to shame the perpetrators of these crimes against food. However, kind of noticing that myself, along with the chips in the paper bag, oh gosh, I have a real problem of going out to eat and having to state I'm a grown-up and I'd like to sit in a comfortable chair at a table to eat my expensive food. Not on a broken stool at a sewing machine station, or on a high chair peering awkwardly over a junior-sized school desk. Help me, please lift me my drink, I can't reach. Here's your broken chair. Try and balance on that as you try to stop your dinner sliding gently off the tilted table that got saved from the skip round the back of the restaurant. No, if I wanted to indulge in a dining experience that attempted to re-envisage the final terrifying moments on the Titanic, I would row myself out onto the Perting Lake with a sandwich from Tesco's and a concrete brick. Thanks for asking. And don't even start me on the health and safety issues. How many times have you been to a hip bar and found yourself sat around a greasy table, you and your companions all at different sea levels due to the crazily mismatched and comfortable seating that the bar tries to pass off as quaint and weathered, but I call cheap and woodwormed? And finally, stop with the reclaimed sofas that swallow you whole or fold you in half with a vice-like bite around the haunches. Then that requires the undignified clawing of ripped leather cushions to escape. A female of short stature and large bosom does not look good being folded into a posture where she appears to be nuzzling her own cleavage. And yes, I do know.
Oh, you know that.
I've been there many times. And do you know what? When your bosom's too close to your face, you can't breathe. It's a fact. And 32G, yes, I know.
What would make the best dining experience for you? Come on, paint us a picture in words. How do you want it to be? Where do you want to be?
Right, I would like to be somewhere like Kensington Palace Gardens or something, because of the views. That's lovely, and the lovely light open windows. And I would like there not to be too much marble glass kind of clattering, so it's nice and muted. The music should not be too loud, and we should have proper chairs where you can sit upright and breathe properly. And your feet don't dangle if you're under 5'5", and you have proper plates.
These plates, white china?
No, they can be your IKEA bog standard, it doesn't matter. But the main point is that everybody's at the same level, and the table's at the right height to eat off, and nothing's lopsided.
Okay, and if anyone's drizzled chocolate sauce?
It doesn't roll off the plate onto the floor. Well, should I say the slate onto the floor? But no, this is more about the fact that the idea that I was in a pub recently and a friend of mine just leant forward to get her drink and was tipped unceremoniously onto the floor because she was sitting on a log. And then the manager came over and went, "Oh, no one's done that before." Well, nobody dare move when they're sat on a log. I've seen people fall over onto their backs because their chairs are broken in pubs, but because, of course, they've had an alcoholic drink, they won't say anything and the management get away scot-free. It's a crime.
Why do they do it?
I don't know. I think they don't want to look like the 90s where everything was neon on glass, and they don't want to look like the 2000s where everything was a bit IKEA. And so it's this idea that... And also they're saving money because they are literally fishing stuff out of skips. But I think the countryside... We had the Industrial Revolution, and then you had the cottage industry revolution. And when I sit in a pub at a reclaimed sewing machine station, I cry inside, because those are my northern relatives that once slaved and toiled away there. It's not right. That's not a place of relaxation.
So Kirsty Allsop has knitted together this reclaimed, recycled world.
No, but she hasn't. Kirsty Allsop hasn't been near it, because if she had, there would be a place to put your knees.
And your bosom.
And your bosom.
You can't get your knees under those things.
But it's like this trend for serving chips now in miniature chip pans, and I was brought up to be terrified of chip pans. So unless it's being served with a miniature damp tea towel to throw over it because it comes alight, it ruins the experience for me.
And these are artisanal chips?
Artisanal chips, yes, in a miniature. There's a factory somewhere producing miniature chip pans that serve no purpose.
I don't care about that. I care deeply about the plate. The plate is an evolution in eating, because it means that not only does it contain the food in one place because of the lipped edge, but especially when you're eating out, for the poor serving staff, when they come up to try and get the slate or the breadboard off the table, they have to lean over you, knock it slightly off the edge of the table so they can get hold of it. and the food drops off it, but the plate, you can pick it up, you can chase food around it without sticking it on the table. It's a disaster. It's insane.
And that breadboard hasn't been scrubbed to put
it's grotesquely
It's a stranger to dental.
Oh my word, I tell you what, if CSI had a look at that, can you imagine if they shone that little funny torch on there? Oh, I dread to think what's been on there.
The worst thing, though, I had a Sunday roast a few weeks ago which came served on a slate, lovely piece of slate, and then there was the small jug of gravy. And I'm looking at my jug, and I'm looking at the slate, and I'm thinking, well, if I spill this out of my Yorkshire pudding, we're going to have an issue here. And we were all just looking around going, where are we supposed to do this? So we ended up in this bizarre situation where you're spooning some veg and meat into your mouth, and then you're taking a little drink of gravy from the jug.
Did you actually do that within sight of the operatives that worked there?
Pointedly so.
Good for you.
Of course, trends will change, so another 10 years and this won't be an issue, probably.
No, we'll all be sitting on nails.
Well, I imagine we'll all be riding motorised skateboards and having a pill for lunch.
Oh, I hope so.
Where's my bloody jetpack?
Oh, Fenella. Language. That was Fenella Fudge. Marian Pashley and Niall McMurray. My name's Bruce Guthrie. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
To hear more episodes of The Novel Game, like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe at avonside.studio.